William Smith is a pretty common name in America and even on Long Island. Turns out on the South Shore there were several William Smiths. But this is the story about a William Smith shown on a map. I've seen this map many times. I look at all the familiar local names that appear on it. The name that interests me was William Smith. I grew up on Brook Street right between Rollstone and Division Avenues. On the map in 1915 it shows William Smith owned the area where I grew up. So you guessed it, I decided to try to find out about this William Smith. It turns out William Francis Smith and his sister owned much of the land between Rollstone and Division Avenue, from Brook Street down to Union. William was a farmer. That area was his farm and back in the late 1800s. This story gets more and more interesting, but first let me admit I'm just an amateur history buff. This story, more than most, contains a lot of information some historians seem to omit, ignore, or simply don't agree upon. So sit back, I think this gets pretty good. William Francis Smith was the son of William Brickkiln Smith. William Francis was born in 1855 to William Brickkiln Smith and Elizabeth Manning. The family had 3 daughters and 1 son, Sarah, Mary, Louisa, and William Francis. The oldest daughter, Fanny Smith, would marry Cornelius de Graff. If you look back at the map, you see Fanny and de Graff owning a lot of property throughout the area. There's a lot to the story of Fanny and Cornelius, but I'll just say Fanny had an excellent business sense, much like her sister Louisa's more famous husband, Jacob. This branch of the Smith family arrived in America in the late 1600s with Richard Bull Smith. Richard was born in Bradford, Yorkshire, England in 1613. He immigrated to America around 1649. Richard lived in Southampton, then Setauket. He eventually was deeded to land around Smithtown in 1663. He received the patent for Smithtown in 1665. William Smith, Brickkiln's father and Richard's 4th great-grandson, made his way to live in the Islip area in the early 1800s. William Brickkiln Smith was born in 1810. The family became successful farmers. William Brickkiln would first rent farmland near Morris or Terry's Cove near the bay. This property was said to be owned by Francis Ludlow. He then purchased a 52-acre farm from the late William P. Benjamin estate in the late 1860s from James Benjamin. William Brickkiln Smith became the first postmaster in the new Oakdale Post Office in October 1868. By 1870, Fanny, his daughter, became the Oakdale station master and telegraph operator. By 1869, William's farm produced 100 bushels of wheat, 150 bushels of corn, 200 bushels of oats. He had 2 cows, 2 horses, and 4 pigs. They valued his farm at over $10,000, about $250,000 in today's money. William Brickkiln Smith eventually expanded and rebuilt the house from the original Benjamin family land. That house has become known to us as the Jacob Oakers house. The house never belonged to Jacob. The Smith family seemed to have internal divisions, which actually started when William Brickkiln's daughter Louisa married Jacob Oakers, the Oyster King, in 1880. The young couple moved into the Smith family home. Eventually their living in the house led to family division, with Fanny moving out because of her dislike for Jacob. This also led to a falling out with her dad, William Brickkiln Smith. About 3 years later, William Brickkiln Smith passed away. William seemed to have left most of his estate to the 2 younger daughters. Louisa inherited the house, His estate was worth $30,000, a few million in today's money. So I guess this is when it became the Jacob Oker's house, but his name never appeared on the home's title. It remained in Louisa's name. The family seemed to be divided, with Fanny and her brother William Francis moving to West Sayville. Louisa and Jacob became the most successful oyster producers and distributors in America. Mary Emma, the other sister, married Ludlow Mitkins and moved to New Jersey. Franny married another oysterman, Captain Cornelius Case de Graaf. Cornelius de Graaf immigrated from the Netherlands in 1839. William Francis and Fanny bought large parcels of land on the north end of Rollstone and Division. William would farm and raise livestock in this area for most of his adult life. Fanny and Cornelius built their home on Main Street in West Sayville. William Francis farmed and lived with them as a single man for the rest of his life. As all three became older, Cornelius became a real estate developer in the area. He built many homes and invested in many tracts of land in the area. As William and Fanny aged, they sold off and even gave away their land. Many homeowners in the area paid a nominal fee for their land and built their homes on Rollstone and Division Avenue. So that's the story of West Sayville's William Francis Smith. He was a successful farmer and landowner. William was a part of a very famous Long Island and American family. He seemed to have loved the area so much he shared a lot of his property with many other locals. William Brickkiln Smith and his wife, Elizabeth Manning Smith, are buried in the historic St. John's Episcopal Church in Oakdale. William Francis Smith, Franny and Cornelius de Graaf are buried in St. Anne's Episcopal Cemetery in Sayville. Louisa and Jacob Okers are buried in Union Cemetery in Sayville. Mary and Ludlow Mitkins lived the rest of their lives in New Jersey and are buried there. One last note, on the 1915 map north of Williams Land was a property owned by Ed Schnell. Turns out Mr. Schnell was a successful New York banker. I never really discovered why he purchased the land. His children sold it off after his death. Funny, all the different people that own land in the area.